will be showing you in this tutorial the way I make the Sutton slice, and of course, as the bonus, we will be making a piece. We'll make a bracelet. Before starting on the Sutton slice now, I want to show you something. As it's mentioned in my description of my videos, I do have an Amazon wish list, and these texture plates were on my Amazon wish list, and one of my subscribers, her name is Lady Radu, she purchased these for me. The way it works, you just go on my wish list and you can purchase any item on my wish list, and there's no private information exchanged. But anyway, I am absolutely thrilled. These are made by an artist whose name is Jennifer Albertin. I am going to put in the description the links to her store. They are very well priced. This set was actually in one of what she calls a goodie bag. Generally, one of these is priced around $5. You can see that they are a little bit more flexible than what you're used to, but the designs are wonderful and they are very deep edged, so they are very well suited for Sutton slice, for mokumegane, for hidden magic, and I love the designs. So we shall see how well they last to wear and tear, but and especially for the Sutton slice, it's so easy to peel them back. So anyway, let's all thank to Lily because without her, I would probably have postponed this Sutton slice tutorial until way much later. And I will be making one of those bracelets with tube beads that are set on jute or any other kind of cord. And because I have some leftover green from that summer's end, and then I have some leftovers black from the mica shift pendant, and of course I have some white, I decided to make a tube bead bracelet with matching end caps also like this, using the Sutton slice. And I will make the Sutton slice with both white and green on a black background. And I think that a bronze or a copperish addition would actually look nice. So probably that's what I will use on the end of the tube beads. So to start with, I think that this one is really nice for tube beads because see, there's a pattern that kind of can repeat around the bead. To make the beads, I will use these dowels that I told you I found at the Dollar Tree, and they're like 20 dowels in a bag for $1. They're in the kids crafts. If you have any Dollar Tree around, that's exactly where they have they call them craft sticks, but they are popsicle sticks, only a little bit smaller, and the same, they have like 50 in a bag that you can buy for $1. So without further ado, let me start on the Sutton slice. I think that the best tutorial, honestly, that you can ever watch is, of course, the tutorial of Lisa Pavelka, because you know the histories and the name of the Sutton slice technique comes from one of her students who apparently had some issues with another technique, and then they finally kind of stumbled on this, or Lisa stumbled on this or something. Anyway, I will put a link in the card and in the description of the video to Lisa Pavelka's tutorial, because honestly I think that there's no better teacher for the original technique than the inventor of that technique. Of course, everybody can come with improvements to a technique. Everybody has their own way of doing it. And to be honest, until I had problems doing the Sutton slice, until I watched Lisa Pavelka's tutorial, because remember I have issues with my hands and kind of have problems holding that blade properly. But the way that she showed it with kind of rotating it, it really does help. And as you can see, I am putting little bits of clay, and this is what this stamp is absolutely wonderful. You don't have to work very hard to make the clay stay in there, but at the same time, honestly, I tried them last evening because I got them yesterday in the mail. I tried them last evening all, and I didn't really need any kind of release agent on them. So then they look beautiful and perfect. So yeah, I am very thrilled with them. So once your clay is all in, and you saw I've been putting it by small bits and pieces because you don't want to try and use the roller. If you use the roller, it will have the tendency to come off and follow the roller. You get your flexible blade. I've seen people trying to do this with the rigid blade and not achieving the proper result, because the proper result is for you to shave this clay all the way to the rubber and leave only clay that's inside these indentations in the stamp or the texture plate. If you get any clay left over that is not that is still on the rubber, then you will not get a proper result. So as you can see, even I, with my poor little hands, I can still do great using the way Lisa Pavelka showed. Another thing that is very important for this technique, if you see that you start going on one way and you kind of don't have anything else to shave, try to change the angle a little bit, and you will be amazed how much more you will be able to pick up from the clay that is there. I'm doing this white here, and I will put some black on top of it. And then on the, I will use a green on the other section of the stamp, and I will get it much in a more close up so you can see better what I am doing. Right now I'm picking the extra clays that is in spots I don't need it to be. Make sure that you don't pick up the clay that you need. Actually, I'm thinking that I might need this. I want this line that I didn't cover, and I think I want it at the end of my bead on both sides, so I am going to complete it. And see, I'm only going a little bit at a time. And I'm going again to get my blade, and see, it comes up just right off. I still have a pinch here. I didn't go all the way in. So as you can fix the spots that you didn't get the clay all the way in. I don't like here. I think I need to change the angle a little bit, because on this very one here I didn't get all the way to the, and see, if I change the angle, then I got everything. I'm going to try to pick these up because I do not need them. But be careful so that you don't pick another area that you need in your Sutton slice. And you can pick up like this any piece that's not where you want it to be. Now, of course, here I don't think I'm going to pick it up. Let me actually try, but see what happens. I pick up the other one, and the other one I kind of want it there, but you know, I actually don't want it with the rest going that way, and it's very hard to get it just in the line. So I'm going to pick up this line and leave only the other one. Okay, now I am good to go. Place the black on top of this. So let me grab a slice of black. And because I'm going to make tube beads that will have jute going through them, I want to make it a little bit sturdier, so it is on the thicker setting on my pasta machine. Now what you do, you just place the base color on the area that you had the clay in the indentations, and you just tap with your fingers. Don't use a roller. If you use the roller, you risk the clay to lift off. And then what you do, you turn this around and you start peeling off, and you'll be able to see how beautiful. This is a 3D effect. Now I will of course only keep the what is in between these lines, and I'm going to put it separately to make my bead. So I'm making sure that I am cutting this right. And here I have the material for my first bead. Now let me do a green one, and I will do a close-up with the camera. Let me pick up all the whites that I might have here. This is the best way to clean the stamp of stray clay. And I will get in a close-up with the camera so you can see better what I am doing. And let me see what to pick. I think I am going to pick about this one. Let me get the camera closer, and you can see that I still have some little bits and pieces of white that I didn't even notice until I got the camera very close. Come on, get out of there. So I will be taking this time some green. Make sure that your clay is very well conditioned, and then start placing it in the areas that you want to do the Sutton slice with. I'm trying not to get past that area, and I'm wondering, actually I'm going to make an experiment, see if I can actually cut part of the what is in the indent there in order to lift it up. Let's see what I'm doing. I'm just getting little bits and pieces of clay that was very well conditioned. It's not exceptionally soft though, and actually this one is Fimo true green. The rest was Premo, because I don't want it to be too soft and stick to my fingers. When the clay is way too soft, it can stick to your fingers. So condition it, because you do want it soft enough to get into these indentations, but you don't want it too soft to stick with your fingers, because it will lift off the moment you let it go. Now let me see if I can do this, because I do not want this part. And I'm cutting very gently to make sure that I'm not hurting the texture plate. And I am trying to lift only what's on this side of the blade, so I would leave a clear line for my bead. Not too bad. Go again. And again, I'm not going too deep. I'm just going deep enough to cut through the clay, but not touch the... I guess I'm not deep enough here. Not touch and cut the texture stamp. So carefully, if you decide to do that, don't endanger your texture stamp. And now I'm taking again the flexible blade, and I will be shaving this off. And I did not press enough here, because I just pushed them up. If you don't get good results, if you lift off too much, then just go back in and just press more in those areas. And this time I got all of it. I only have a little bit left here, and everything seems pretty well shaven. Yeah, I just took this out. So let me get this part up, and this will be obviously as well, a black and green bead. So when I will be mixing the jute cords, it will look very pretty, because I'm going to use all three colors of jute cords, the black, the green, and the white. So let's see how this looks. I'm putting it on top again, and I'm going to just press it in, and then I'm turning this back and peeling it off, and there you go, another pretty Sutton slice. See how it is in 3D. And I will be making several of these so I can have enough for my beads, and I shall be right back. Okay, so I got my pieces, and now I'm going to start setting them on the dowel. And I'm going to want to cut these very ends, because I want to be able to blend them as much as possible. Of course, I won't be able to. Now, whenever you're dealing with texture, you have to be very careful when you're placing your bead, not to ruin the texture, of course. So you cut just a pinch before where they come together, but not by much, just a little itty bitty. Here. And then I will very gently get them together. and do a little bit of a blend. Let me get my blending tool. I'm not saying that you have to make them absolutely perfect, but you know, try to blend them as much as possible. And of course, now I had these special textures. You might have something different, so it will look different and it will be different to blend. But try to blend as much as you can, okay? Because it will look much nicer if it's blended. So I am all baked. I mean, the clay is baked. But before starting to put this together, I will need to actually add, as I said, I'm going to do some copperish stuff. I think that copper would look better than bronze. I just think it would give an extra oomph if you want. Also considering the fact that the findings are metallic, right? So I'm going to do a very slight brush in here. On the ends. And especially on the end caps, because you see I made them black, and I made them black with the purpose of actually accenting them. Put them on the dowel with the bronze acrylic. Yeah, I do have copper end caps, but I wanted this to be how can I say it, more matched to the texture of the other beads. So I am applying a little bit of copper acrylic on this. And at the ends of each of these beads, as you can see, it's just a little bit. I'm not using too much. I don't want to actually color the ends, just the opening, so to speak, the opening of the bead. Now I'm going to go for a, as usual, for an 8.5. That considering the fact that we have a closing, and I'm going to use this lobster clasp, and end caps, I think the beads themselves should take about 7.5 inches. And there should be at least half an inch between beads. I know I made more beads that I actually need, so I'm going to kind of arrange them here so they would form a nice pattern, and see how many of them I need. I actually might have done not too many, because I know I made them under 1 inch, so there would be like 2 of them too many. Yeah, I think that this should be good, because with the end caps and everything. So I will be mixing all these jute colors, and so I will be mixing the black, the white, and the green, and then you know, put them in how many I have and how many can fit through the bead. The idea is that this bracelet is the prettier it is, the more jute or whatever the cord you decide to use you have. So let me first work on my cords and I'll be right back. Okay, so I wrapped one end just to make sure that I got enough that would fit in here. That wouldn't be too many actually, now that I got enough. And then I will be cutting these very, very carefully, being very careful not to cut the wire, of course. But as I said, the more little threads you get, the prettier the bracelet. So I'm going to try and get in there as many as possible. And let's see how we are doing. It does fit into the end cap. Now let's see if it fits through the beads. It should, because they are the same length and width. It will need a little bit of coercion. And of course I'm going to put some Loctite. Actually, I'm going to put the Loctite inside the caps. Because it can be wiped off easily. Because if I put it on the threads, then what can happen is for the Loctite to stay outside while the threads go in the end cap. Okay. And I wasn't sure if I was going to use these or use these, but I guess I went ahead and I got these little tiger's eyes, so I am pretty much straight on the measure. I am good. So let me get two. And get this closer. Oops, sorry. Wrong pliers. You know, this kind of stuff, years ago, before all that crap happened, it used to take me just half a minute. You have no idea how frustrating it is right now for me to struggle so much on this. But I can do it, and I will. Here we go. Let's get for the second one. Sorry, I just keep hitting all kinds of stuff here. And there we go. A little satin slice bracelet. As you saw, it's not hard to do. And these type of bracelets are a lot of fun. Happy claying!